Hey, my friends, welcome to the Leadership Center. I am Dr.Tony Soldano, and on this channel, we are in the pursuit of excellence, and it is our desire to increase your leadership capabilities. Today, I want to talk about eight principles of influence. And I'm calling this, how do we move the needle? How do we move the needle? Think about a dashboard. How do we move the needle of your influence as it comes to leadership? I want to borrow from John Maxwell. He quoted something that he said, leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. Leadership is influence. And I began to think about this. Okay, well, if that is the case, which I believe it is, by the way, that we are influencing others, hopefully in a positive manner, that they are progressing and tracking forward, and hopefully with you, right? Because you don't want people working against you. So as a leader, how do you then move this needle forward? How do we begin to accelerate? Eight principles that I believe are incredibly important. Today, in part one, we'll cover the first four. So if you're ready, let's get started. Number one, influencers have a strong sense of direction. A lot of people call this vision. In other words, they know where they are going. They're bold about it. They're confident about it. They communicate it. They articulate it. They can explain it very, very clearly. If we are going to increase our influence, and influence is leadership, and leadership is influence, then we need to have a very strong, a very clear and focused direction in our leadership vision. And that vision needs to be communicated. Number two, influencers are ruthless about their time. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be mean or arrogant or disrespectful or anything like that. But what I'm talking about is the quality of your yes. The quality of your yes and the quality of your no. And so if you are very clear on the things that you say no to, then that automatically is going to help your yes. The quality of the things that you agree to be involved in, that you agree to participate in, that you agree to give your full attention because it's of value to you as a leader, and then obviously to your organization. My friends, it's so easy as a leader to fall into the trap of the lasagna. You know, I have an Italian background. The lasagna effect is that we just layer things one on top of another. And by the way, some of them may be very good ideas, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're focused on your values, that you're focused on where your energy really needs to be, your emotional capital. So you need to be ruthless. What are the things you're going to say yes to? What are the things that you are going to say no to? And I want to repeat myself. When you say no, it improves the quality of your yes. And when you say yes, what that indicates is that you're going to be fully committed. You're going to be all in as a leader because you're in charge of resources, people, etc. You are going to be fully in. Number three, influencers are absolutely obsessed with routine. Their systematic approach, not only to their job, but really to their lives. That on a daily basis, they are focused on the things probably that you said yes to in number two, right? So we are absolutely committed and married to our routine. And that means that there are things that we're going to do on a daily basis. Sometimes they might even be in a specific order. So I'm not going to do number four until I do number three. And that's not all work related. It might be workout related. It could be, with respect to nutrition, breakfast, whatever you might be involved in. Influencers are married to their routine. They are systematic. They approach it in a very disciplined, can I say they take a very hard approach? So that means that things are not changing today versus tomorrow. No. Successful leaders, people that have influence, the way they move the needle is they absolutely focus on their routine. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be parts of your day that you're going to be flexible, that you can't adjust. But what I am saying is there are going to be non-negotiables on a daily basis that you are going to be absolutely committed to. Number four, influencers are incredibly specific. They are incredibly specific. They are clear. It kind of relates to number one, but it's not only vision and direction, it's expectations. It's about communicating what you want and doing it in such a way that your people, your resources, your money, your finances, whatever it may be, everything is working towards that direction. Everything is working toward that vision. My friends, vagueness will kill you. I don't know how to tell you in a more dramatic way. If you are vague, if people are uncertain, if they're not sure what you are saying and what you are communicating and where you are going, if you are leaving it for people to kind of figure it out on their own or read between the lines, or you should know me by now as a leader, you are asking for trouble. Listen, good leaders are clear. Good leaders are articulate. Good leaders are specific. And by the way, beyond just in a verbal sense, some things may need to be written down, whether it's a documentation, a letter, email, even a text message, whatever it may be. Please, 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 for your own benefit, be as clear as you possibly can. Let's recap. We're talking about leadership, and the leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. Our friend John Maxwell taught us that. Four things in part one. Influencers have a strong sense of direction and they stick to it. Number two, they're ruthless about their time, the quality of their no and the quality of their yes. They have routines. In other words, they are systematic in their approach. They're not willy-nilly. They're not all over the place. They're not starting in one thing and ending in another place. No. They are very, very routine. That provides a lot of confidence and a lot of trust for the leader and also in your organization. And then they are very specific. They are very clear regarding their expectations. Listen, I hope this has helped you. Please post any comments, any questions, any other thoughts that you want to add. I'm Dr. Tony Soldano, and this is the Leadership Center.